Hi, my name is Heather Hooper. I'm a 5th grade educator in Central Indiana, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm just going to talk about some of the books that I used through the month of April. And I mean, they would be fine in May too. So don't think that you couldn't use them during this time. But let me share some of the books that we read so you can see them all behind me. I love to display the books that we are reading. The kids love to go up and get them and look at them, reread them, talk about them, refer back to them. I still have a couple I need to put up here, I think. Maybe they're all up here, but I do put all of our books up here that we are reading, and they love to see that. All right, so I started off by doing Storm books. Actually, we started this the month before, but in the month of April, we did finish because of Mr. Trapped, and my kids absolutely loved it. So we finished that chapter book. We also read several books about storms. So the storm book, Thunder Cake, and one of my kids took the recipe from the back and went home and made the cake with their parent and brought it in for us to share. So that was a great unexpected treat. And then Tsunami. And then just for fun at one point, because who doesn't like to guess whether the picture is of a butt or a face of an animal, and they love the science facts that they get about animals in this book as well. They love to guess what the animal is as well. So this was a lot of fun. Next, for fun, I know, I teach 5th grade. They think it's hilarious when you talk about poop, pee, burps, whatever. And so this is not for every classroom. I understand it's not for every teacher, but we laugh and giggle at this book every year, so don't say poop. And what it talks about is like other words for it. So like a floater sinker or major stinker, but it also goes through like other words for pee. So my kids started saying, hey, can I go get rid of the gold rushing and bubble flushing, or, you know, sprinkle tinkle liquid trash. We started calling it liquid trash. And so this was just funny. Again, we had some time at the end of the day to read this. Another one that we read just for fun was Rotten Teeth. I'm always trying to find books that are just a little bit weird, a little bit gross, because I think it's funny when the kids get grossed out. And so this is about a girl who has show and tell day, and she wants to take something that nobody else would bring, and her father's a dentist, so she takes in teeth. So we read that one. All right, and then for Earth Day, we read One Little Paper Bag, which is a wordless picture book, and they had so much fun coming up with this story and inferring what was going and predicting what was going to happen. So this I really recommend. So it's by Henry Cole. It's an amazing journey of this paper bag that is used for generations. And then we read Our Planet, There's No Place Like Earth. And we also read One Plastic Bag, and comparing the two, what was similar, what was different. And this is about a woman in Gambia, and she uses the plastic bags that people are throwing away and polluting the earth to make purses. And so this was a great book, and they really enjoyed all of those as well. All right, then yesterday, I teach in a rural community, and our high school students put on an ag day. And so they invite the whole elementary, and we go in different shifts, and they get to hear about what it's like to be in 4-H, or what they do through FFA, and they get to see pigs, they get to see sheep, a cow, they get to see a tractor, chickens, duck, all those kinds of things. And so I was like, it's a great day to do an animal day. And the other thing that we do, I'll insert a picture here because they're already out in the hallway. On the Monday after we finish our state testing, it's a great way to wind down in the afternoon. We do the volume animals. So they get boxes, they find the total volume, and then they create their animals. So I'll insert a picture. But then on Thursday we had Ag Day, and I'm like, oh, that's a great time for us to do like an animal day. We have our animals in the hallway. We read, first we read The Watcher, which is about Jane Goodall's life with chimps. And then on Netflix, there is like an animals series or something. And there's one that is about chimpanzees, as well as like some other species of monkeys. And so we watched about 25 minutes of that, not the whole thing. I do suggest that you preview it and make sure that your kids would be okay with that. There's a couple graphic parts where they get into battle with another chimp, and so that's a little loud and chaotic. And then a part where they kill another monkey for food of a different species. It's not super graphic, but it's kind of like, oh wow, like I can't believe they do that, and just kind of like, I knew my parents would be fine with that based on other things that we have done this year, and I knew the kids would enjoy it, especially after reading about her, and they thought this book was amazing. Then the other two were for fun. So I did another butt or face book because they absolutely loved the first one, and we're still learning about animals in this one. And then the third one that I read that day was Battle of the Butts, which is amazing. It's so funny. So this is, I think there's 10 different animals in this one, and it talks about how their butts benefit them. And so then they rate them. There's like a 5 or 6 point rating scale, and they have funny names for them, and lots of good nonfiction mixed with a lot of similes, metaphors, and puns as well. So good for figurative language in a nonfiction setting. So those were the ones we read yesterday. Also yesterday, we finished The Wild Robot. So our school does the one book, one school. And so our whole school is reading this. Everybody finishes on the same day. And then next week, following week, we will go to the movie theater and we will watch this as a school. Well, I mean, we do in chunks, but everybody gets to go to the movie theater, have popcorn, a soda, and get to watch the movie. And then we stop at a park and have a picnic lunch, and we play at the park, and then we come back home or back to school. And so it's a whole day affair, and it's one of my favorite things that we do. I am probably an outlier in this. I did not love this book. I'm not a huge fantasy person, so maybe that's it, but I just thought it was so slow, and like there wasn't much of a plot, and there was nothing until the end. And so not my favorite book, but my kids really enjoyed it. So those are all the books that we read for the month of April. So I'll come back at the end of May and I will show you what books we ended up doing. I'll be reading a lot because I do a bunch of theme days. I wouldn't say room transformations. I do decorate a little bit, but nothing crazy, but I'm doing several different days as long as my kids can handle it. So come back and find out what books we read and which ones the kids really enjoyed. So until then, I'll see you next time.